you for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Terrific Thursday. Yes. Okay, so today is Thursday, and today's topic is we're going over speak your truth. Speak your truth. But before we really get into it, it's a couple of things. One, please like, subscribe, and share, because if we get anything out of this content, chances are someone else will as well. So share with those you know, love, and care about. Also, it is the holiday seasoning, and you might be looking for some good gifts. So I have a couple of them right here. But check out the link down below for my book tease collection. It is a short read, but it's got a lot of creative stories in it, fiction, as well as some poems, a couple of songs. Also, check out the link down below for Young Living. I am the distributor for them. They do not sponsor me, but they have a lot of great gift ideas, especially if you're looking for those hard to get people but they love the way their house smells, or they may be a little more conscious about the products that they use in their house. Then check out Young Living, because they have some really great things down as far as that goes. So check them out below. Those links are below. And just in case you didn't get it the first 2 times, the links are below. I don't know why I had to say 3 times, but whatever. I'm a little tired, y'all, if y'all can't tell. So when I get tired, I get a little giddy, a little silly. So whatever. But anyway, so speak your truth. So this is one that I have actually had a lot of difficulty with because I am very reserved, and I have learned through the years to, or I should say be trained through the years to keep stuff to myself, don't share. And it really was a lot when I was a kid, you know, when I would try to speak stuff or say stuff, share stuff with the family, and they didn't want to know about that, especially when it comes down to the spiritual side of things. Because like I said, when I was a kid, I used to see ghosts, you know, I used to see spirits and feel them around me. I used to see shadows, you know. It was a very scary time for me as a child. And when I would try to communicate that, I would get negative reactions, like they don't want to talk about that. And so I just really learned to keep things to myself. And so as I progressed and I got older, and I started to learn that some of those interactions on the spiritual side that I was having was actually with my ancestors, you know, as well as other spiritual beings that were here to guide me and to help me with this thing called life. You know, I really started to, I kept that dear and close to my heart and really didn't share it with too many people. And one of the things that they have been really working with me on is to speak my truth. And they really been working with me on this when it comes to therapy, because they told me to go to therapy. So I've been in therapy, and I've taken different classes and all this kind of stuff just to try to be the better version of myself through their guidance. And when they would go to this, and I would have my conversation with them, like, okay, y'all know these people gonna lock me up, you know, because this isn't stuff that is the norm. This isn't stuff that we are typically told about, or that gets typically talked about anymore. You know, this is the oddball stuff that will make people think you're crazy. And so it was very nerve-wracking for me to get in there and express this stuff to a counselor, you know, like a therapist, you know, like they a psychologist. The first person I saw, I think she was a social worker, or a social counselor, some kind of counselor, whatever. And that was one of my first questions is, okay, anything I say to you, can you lock me up? Like straight out the back, no joke, like dead serious, like, can you lock me up for this? And they would tell me no, unless you causing yourself harm, or unless, you know, they think that you're a threat to somebody else or yourself, then no, there's really nothing, you know, they can do. Or if you incriminate yourself, something like that. But outside of that, no, they can't lock you up. They can't. But I still asked this. So once I went through that therapy, and I ended up going through this program, program worked really well. It's called Life Master Achievers by Tim Hahn. So if you ever at LMA, if you want a program and you're looking for something, his is excellent. So I went through his program. I was feeling better, feeling more, you know, me, and let go of a lot of stuff. And then they told me to go back to counseling. I'm like, for what? For some of the trauma that has happened through my life, because some of those spiritual experiences I have, they weren't fun. They weren't fun. Y'all can see I'm trying to get over it. I'm trying to push my emotions to the side so I can actually speak to y'all. But there are things that I experienced that still have an effect on me, as you can see right now. But I need to work through them. And so they told me to go back to therapy. And I'm like, okay, again, these people gonna think I'm crazy. So no. And that was one of the things that they've been working on me is, Toya, speak your truth. Speak your truth. This is your truth. Regardless of whether somebody else believes it or not, it is your truth. And so I'm getting more comfortable, as you can see, because I'm doing a video on it, but I'm getting more comfortable with speaking and talking about it, so you may hear me talk about how my ancestors are communicating with me, or you may hear me talk about, the different spirits that I might encounter, like Mother Nut. That's her candle up there. Yeah, still lit. That's her candle up there, because she's come to me and she's helped me with a lot of those womanly aspects of life. I've also interacted with the spirit of money. People think money is just this object that you get, but there's a spirit that goes with it. It's an energy that goes with money. And the being that is behind that energy is very loving and very giving and very, like we in this together kind of thing. And those are things that made me uncomfortable. I'm still a little uncomfortable. That's why y'all see me keep looking away from the camera. But but makes me uncomfortable to speak on and to talk about, because you're always afraid or worried that somebody is going to call you crazy or look at you like you're crazy. There have been times I've known stuff about people, or I mention stuff and they like, how you know that? And it's because of this connection that I have to the other side. So I'm not embarrassed by it. I just don't want people thinking I'm crazy. And that's anybody. And the point of it is, and the point that they've been working with me to drive into me, which I'm opening up because, like I said, I'm doing this video, is that it really doesn't matter what other people think. It matters what you think. Do you think you crazy? And I'm going to tell y'all, I've had some experiences that are like, you can't make this stuff up. Like, I'm a writer and I couldn't even dream up some of the stuff that has happened to me, or some of the encounters that I had. I can't even dream it up. Okay. Like, if I was to tell y'all be like, oh, she lying, but it's true and it's happened, and it's a beautiful thing. And so the more that I embrace that part of me, and the more that I stop worrying about what people thinking, is it crazy? Like, there's when I thought I was crazy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. There was a point where I actually was driving on my way to work downtown Detroit, and I really and truly was considering pulling off, taking that exit to go to the hospital and commit myself, because I really thought that I was crazy. It didn't help that I was in school studying psych either, And one of the things that got me through it is that, one, I had to remember, crazy people don't think they're crazy. They think everybody else is. So the fact that I think I'm crazy means that there's a good chance that I'm not. The other thing is the blessed internet, okay? The godsend internet. Because when I got to work to calm myself down, my ancestors, which I didn't know at the time, I just thought it was my guardians, told me to look it up on the internet. So I pulled my phone up and I would look up things that have happened or things that I had experienced, and find out it's on the internet. Like, other people have experienced this as well. People I do not know, that ain't even in my same state, and in some cases not even in my same country. So because this is happening to somebody else, I can't be crazy, But even still, to this day, I still think there are times where I feel like I'm crazy for the stuff that's happening. But the more that I speak my truth, the more that I talk about my experiences and talk about the things that I'm going through with people who might not necessarily believe, like whoever watching this video, some of y'all might not believe what I'm saying. But the more I speak it, the more I talk about it, the more I feel okay with it. And one of the things that they told me was, if it's helping you and it's not hindering you, what difference does it make if it's crazy? What difference does it make if everything that you see was just, or you've experienced, was your imagination that you made up on some level? What difference does it make? Because I'm going to tell you, they done proved, like time and time again, they done proved things to me. And I still sit back like, I still, me, I'm the one experiencing it, and I still don't believe it. I still be like, okay, this is, did this really just happen? Like, am I really doing this? Like, okay. So I still have problems with it. But like I said, I find that the more I talk about it, the more that I speak my truth, the more that I'm honest about, not just honest, but even open about what I experienced, because that was my problem. It's not me being honest. It's about me being open to talk about it. So I find that the more that I'm open to talk about it, the more I accept it. And the more I accept it, the more learning, the more guidance I get, the more, just the more of me I become, the better I become on myself. So I'm saying all of that to say this. When you hold back who you really are, and when you refuse to show the world a part of yourself, you are actually holding yourself back. You're actually holding blessings back that you may be receiving, or things that are in your path. You are basically stagnating your own self by holding this stuff back. So speak your truth. It doesn't mean that you have to be mean to people, you have to be horrible or try to be hurtful to other people. That is not what I'm saying, and that is not what I mean when I say speak your truth. Does the truth hurt sometimes? Yes, but I'm not talking about people intentionally hurting somebody, because that you are doing intentionally and it will come back to you, because that's how karma works. But for you and who you are, or what's on your mind, or even what you really think. There have been times where, you may come across somebody where they're asking you your opinion, and you're thinking, like, if I tell them how I truly feel about this, it's going to hurt their feelings, or, it's going to stop them from doing whatever. No, if they came to you and they asking you, tell them. Now, I get disclaimers sometimes. Like, you want me to lie or tell you the truth? Like, what are you coming to me for? Like, you really want me to tell you what's on my mind or what I think about it? Or are you just looking for somebody to back you up? And usually at that point, when I say it, that if they looking for just somebody to back them up and they not really looking for the truth, they will tell me, like, nope, that's okay. You know what? It's okay. I don't need to know. Because they want somebody that's going to lie to them and go along with what they saying. So, okay, then I'm not the person. Okay, we got that understanding. It's cool. But if they say, yes, I'm coming to you because I'm asking you, I want to know, then tell them. They're asking you for it. They want to know. They're trying to find somebody that's going to be honest with them. And that's when you speak your truth. You tell them exactly what it is you think. Do you do it in a hurtful manner? No. So if you with that woman and she asks, do I look fat in this? And you say, are you really looking for me to be honest, or you just looking for a compliment? Because if you're looking for a compliment, baby, you beautiful every day. That's how you would treat that. But if she's looking for the truth, tell her. Like, honestly, you know what? That's not very flattering. I don't really like that color on you. And she'll be like, okay, good. She go change her clothes. If she's a real woman. Now, let me put that disclaimer out. If she's a real woman. Or if it's a man we dealing with, if he is a real man. Because people, when they are grown, they can take those comments that you make, and instead of internalize it, use it as a moment for growth, a moment of improvement. The fact that you are being honest with them and sharing that with them, then that makes them feel like they can be honest and share things with you, so you get that open communication. Because that is a lot of times the problem with relationships, if people aren't honest with each other. They're trying to hide stuff, or not speak on stuff, or like, I'm gonna just let this go. Well, you keep letting it go, it's gonna mound up, and then all of a sudden you ready to explode. So in any case, getting back on topic, speak your truth though. That's all I'm saying. There have been times where I've come across it where people have asked me questions and I was nervous about telling them what I honestly thought, but because I'm trying to maintain my integrity, because they're working on me to speak my truth, I'll go ahead and tell the truth. And what turns out happening each time, like, I ain't gonna say I'm waiting, because I'm not, but each time I was surprised every single time where they were wanting that. That's what they were looking for. That's what they were asking for. So when I told them the truth, they like, thank you. Oh, okay. And they went on about it. Wasn't a big deal, because that's what they were looking for. So we tend to make things a bigger deal in our head than what they actually are. So when you start speaking stuff, then you start understanding, and you learn that the things that you blew so far out of proportion really aren't a big deal to anybody else. They just think of it like, oh, okay. So speak your truth. That's really all I'm saying. Speak your truth. Be true to who you are. And no matter what the situation is, be true to who you are and maintain your own integrity of who you are. And if you don't know who you are, well, then that's a good place to start. Figure out who you are so that when you go to interact with other people, you know how to do that, and you are able to speak your truth and what you really feel. But again, not with malicious intent. Always with coming from a place of love with pure intentions. That's always where you want to speak your truth. Because if you do anything outside of pure intentions or with malicious intent, it's going to come back on you. It's going to backfire on you in ways that you do not want. That I can guarantee. Okay, karma has a way. She might be like the FBI watching you for years, months, gathering all the intel that she need, waiting on you to really hit you. But she gonna come at you, okay, eventually, okay? So I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow.